Alright, hey guys, welcome to Top Tier TCG, where I talk about different Pokemon decks and how to play them. Before we get started on this video, I just want to let everyone know that we reached 100 subs and I'm very thankful for it. So a way to give back is I'm giving away a playset of Raging Bull EX promo cards. All you gotta do is comment on this video and comment on that video that I originally posted. Either one is good, and be subscribed, and on January 30th I'll announce the winner. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you taking your time to check this out. My goal is to get to 1,000 subs, and I'll give out something even better than maybe some Prismatic Evolution stuff. But for now, today we're going to talk about the Sylveon EX deck that I've been working on since Surging Sparks Sylveon EX came out, and we've had some support cards come for since the Prismatic Evolutions, and I've been seeing different deck strategies roll around, but I really think this is probably my favorite version of it that I've come to make here. So it's very simple. Well, it's not super simple, but it's close to the Charizard EX Pidgeot line. It uses a lot of the same support cards, and I really think this is probably the best way to make it like viable. This is not by no means an S tier deck. I think maybe barely an A, more ranging on the B tier, only because it's really hard to deal with Cerulege and Archulidon and Raging Bolt. Those are its three biggest issues, I think. But we got to start somewhere. Hopefully it gets better over time. And if you have any improvements you want to make to it, go ahead, leave that in the comments. But for now, I'm just going to show you my version of the deck, and let's get started. First card I want to talk about is obvious, the Sylveon EX here. It has the attack Magical Charm, which does 160 damage, and on your next turn, you take 100 less damage from the defending Pokemon. Now, that's not that great on the attack, but the effect is pretty nice for you. But if your opponent switches out their Pokemon, it nullifies that effect, so they can do full damage to you. And then you have the attack Angelite, which is for 3 energies here. It's all different color. You can choose up to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon and shuffle those cards into your opponent's deck with all the cards attached to them. Now, this is the bread and butter of the deck. This is a really annoying and frustrating thing to deal with if it's taking you a second to set up. So we're going to take advantage of decks like that are stage 1, like the Charizard or the Dragapults, or decks that take a while to put on energies on there. But I run a 2 line with Eevee and then 1 extra Eevee and a baby Sylveon, and I'll explain why later. But you might want to run 3. That's totally up to you. This is just how I have it, and if you've done a different version of it, let me know how it goes. And we're going to pair it up with Pidgeot EX. I remember in a video I did talking about Pidgeot, how he's going to be used a lot as a draw engine, and I truly believe that is going to stay as a viable card for a long time, especially with the quick search ability, where you can draw any card from your deck. You can only do it once per turn, but it could be that card you need. It comes in very clutch. I run a 2-2 line with some rare candies and the Pidgeys. And here are the Pidgeys I use. I just use this one for the artwork. You can use any Pidgey you want. I guess you can do the Call for Family Pidgey in case you get stuck in the beginning, but you're going to be going first a lot with this deck, and if you go second, you're hopefully going to have the Eevee up front. But yeah, I'm doing a 2-2 line of the Pidgey and Pidgeot EX. And then here's that baby Sylveon I mentioned earlier. Only because its ability, Safeguard, it prevents all damage done to this Pokemon and the effects by your opponent's Pokemon EX, which is really nice. It's basically a Mimikyu without the support from the V defense. So right now, not that great of a card, but maybe when rotation hits, this will be a card that a lot of people are going to be frustrated with. You can add a Mimikyu in here just to have both options available if you're trying to do a really heavy stall, but I just couldn't justify the space for me personally, so I'm just going with 1 baby Sylveon. And then of course we have like our 3 main like staple support cards. We have the Rotom V for the instant charge ability, where you can draw 3 cards and your turn ends. Really good mostly in the beginning. You kind of don't want to use this later on, but you want to get those 3 extra cards if your setup is not that great, or if you're just going first. And we have Fezandipiti EX. In case one of our Pokemon get knocked out, we can draw 3 cards the next turn and hopefully bounce back from those attacks. And then also accompanied by Lumineon V, we can use its Luminous Sign ability when we play this card from our hand to our bench, not straight from our deck. So if you use a Nest Ball you cannot use its ability. But if you use an Ultra Ball, get it, and then place it on your bench, you can search your deck for a supporter card. And that can go pretty well if you already have your Pidgeot set and you'd want to waste it on finding a supporter. You can use Lumineon, get that supporter, and then you can use your Pidgeot to get an item card or a Pokemon that you needed. And we have one of those accompanied with the Rotom V and the Fezandipiti EX. And then the newest addition to the family here, we got Budew. I only run one of these, and you kind of only need one. It's really effective if you're going second and you want to use that itchy pollen attack on there. It's a no energy cost and it does 10 damage, and your opponent cannot use any item cards afterwards on their turn, which is really nice, again, against the Charizard EX decks or any deck that just doesn't have their setup yet and they need those Ultra Balls and Earthen Vessels to use. Against Raging Bolt's a little harder just because they rely more on supporters than they do items, I feel like, but this is a really good card to stall some people to get a chance to build your Sylveon and your Pidgeot and your other support Pokemon. And then we have the Eevee, of course. We run 3 of these for the 2 main Sylveons and the baby Sylveon. And then we move over to our Duskull line. I run a 2 Duskull, 1 Dusclops, and then 1 Dusknoir. And you're going to use the abilities for the Dusclops and the Dusknoir. The Dusclops does 5 damage counters to your opponent, and this Pokemon is knocked out. Not super great. You lose a prize card, but it kind of helps adjust those numbers there. Use this one wisely. I don't like to use it all the time unless there's a baby Pokemon I want to knock out. And then we have Dusknoir, the final evolution line, and this one lets you put 13 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon, which will really fix those numbers with the Sylveon here with the 160, and then the 130 from Dusknoir, making it 290. And really good way to finish off a game, or if you're just trying to get ahead so you can use your counter catcher or something like that, it really helps out. But that's all the Pokemon, 18 in total. And then we have our trainers here, and we only have a little bit of supporters here, so maybe Pokestop might be a card you want to use. I personally don't put it in here because of the stadium and the tool cards I like to have on here. But we start off with Counter Catcher, and we use 2 of these only because it might take us a little bit to catch up, or when we use a Dusknoir, that might put them ahead on the prize trade. And with the Counter Catcher ability, where if your opponent has more prize cards than you, you get to switch one of their Pokemon with a Pokemon of your choice. So you can maybe go for a weaker Pokemon and then use the Counter Catcher to bring them up and knock them out. And then we have the Pokemon League headquarters. I kind of didn't even really have a stadium card to put in here just because I thought none of them really helped so much. This is experimental. Maybe you want to try something else, but I like this one only because your opponents and your basic Pokemon have 1 more attack cost, 1 more colorless energy, which will really help in the meta. I mean, not the meta, the counter, maybe? No, not even the counter. It's more for just like Raging Bolt because he's really annoying, and to give them 1 extra energy for them to have to attach to attack makes it a lot easier for me to deal with, but I put that there for that. One you might want to use is the Mountain Stadium card that makes stage 2 Pokemon have 30 less HP. I don't know, experiment, let me know what works better for you guys. Hopefully we get another stadium in the future that works well with the Sylveon EX. Area 0 Undeath might be a card, potentially, I'm not too sure, but that's the one I'm choosing. And then I have 1 Super Rod because you're going to be using up those Duskulls and Dusknoirs and stuff like that. And I like to use this right after I use its ability, get those cards knocked out, throw in my discard, and then I do the Super Rod, throw them back in, just so I can use them again next turn, hopefully. But I only run 1 of those. And then I have Forest Seal Stone, another staple until rotation comes. It's with the Star Alchemy ability, where you can just grab any card from your deck, kind of like the Pidgeot, but you can only do it once. And this only works if it's attached to your Lumineon V or your Rotom V, so don't attach it to any other Pokemon. But again, when post-rotation hits, it's not going to be an issue. We can't even use this card. Just want to utilize it while it's here. And then we have the Iono. This is kind of a staple in every deck. I run 1, shuffle your hand to the bottom of your deck, then take some cards out from the top. And depending on how many prize cards you have, you take that many out. Very good late game, especially when you have that Pidgeot set up and you haven't used your Forest Seal Stone yet. You can, at the risk of only having 2 to 3 cards in your hand, you can still pull what you want through the other abilities, which is really useful while disrupting your opponent. And then I have 1 energy retrieval just in case one of our Sylveons get knocked out. We get those 2 energies back and throw them somewhere. Or if we had to attach one to the Rotom or the Lumineon or the Fezandipiti or a Pokemon we did not want up front that our opponent made us put there, we can use this to get rid of that energy and then bring it back in our hand for later. And the same goes with the Night Stretcher. I only have one in here, but we can use this to grab the Dusclops back or the Dusknoir back and attach to use its ability, or if we prized one of the Sylveons and one of them got knocked out, get that Night Stretcher to put it back, or maybe grab our energy if we need it. And then I run a 4 Nest Ball here just so we can have that consistency. I like it more just because I can grab either one of the smaller Pokemon, or I can grab the Rotom or Lumineon or the Fezandipiti when I need them if I get knocked out. So I carry 4 of those just to make sure they pop up during the game. And then we have one Pal Pad because we only run one Iono and one Boss's Orders. Now we can use them twice if we need to. Use this one wisely. Sometimes you might have to get rid of it, but just good to have in there than not. I only carry 1. And then we have Arven, which I run 3 of. I ran 4, but I wanted to make space for some of the other cards here. That might be a mistake, but Arven lets you grab 1 item card, and 1 Pokemon tool card from your deck, and then shuffle those cards back, the other cards back in. This is really nice when you need the Rare Candy to get that Pidgeot evolved, or you need an Ultra Ball to get your Sylveon out, and then on top of that, you can get your tool card. You can either get your what we got here, the Sparkling Crystal, which I'll talk about in a second, or you can get well, that's about it. I think that's the only tool cards I have in here. Oh no, or the Forest Seal Stone for the Rotom V or the Lumineon V. Again, very useful card. Get the items you need, or maybe you need that switch. You can use that in here. And then we have 1 Boss's Orders. I only put 1 in there just because I don't feel like I can justify using multiple of them, especially with the counter catchers. And if you're ahead, you kind of don't really need to care about it too much. Lets you move one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. It uses up your whole supporter for the day, but maybe you might want to use the Crispin or something else besides that. But that's what we got for right now. We love it. We're going to use it. We only need 1. And again, we have the Pal Pad to throw it back in case we get rid of it. We got 1 switch just for those situations where we don't have the energies we need to attach, or we can't sacrifice that energy. Helps you get any Pokemon out of the active spot, put something in the bench. Useful, just 1. And then we have 2 Earthen Vessels. Again, this is going to be a stable card for a lot of decks, where it lets you grab 2 energies from your deck and put them in your hand. This is really good, especially because we have multiple energies we got to use and utilize, and it's just a good time to grab these out. And then I run a 2 of Crispin, which lets you grab 2 basic energies of different types. You can't grab 2 of the same energy, or the effect does not work on the card, which really sucks. I wish it still would. But you have to grab 2 different basic energies. You attach one to a Pokemon of your choice, and the other one goes to your hand. This works really well, especially with a Terra Pokemon, not just Sylveon, because there is 2 different colors, or 3 different energy types that you need to use for it. But if you have the Crystal, you only need 2. And then we have Buddy-Buddy Poffin. We run 4 for consistency, just to make sure we can get our Eevees out, our Duskulls out, and our Pidgeys out as soon as possible, and that Budew if you really need it. And then we have a 4-4 line with the Ultra Ball here. Again, kind of need that consistency of being able to get the Pokemon you want out as fast as possible, especially when it's that Dusclops you need, or if that Pidgeot and you have that Rare Candy in your hand. It's good to have it. Discard 2 cards from your hand and grab a Pokemon. Just be wise on what cards you discard from this. Sorry, multiple card words. But yeah, we always need 4 of those. And then we have the Sparkling Crystal, which is our A-Spec of choice here. I couldn't think of any other A-Spec to use, just because you want to start attacking as soon as possible, or you want to start disrupting your opponent as soon as possible. But we only carry 1, and it lets your Terra Pokemon attack with 1 less energy that you need. And that can be any energy, so you can... even though the Sylveon needs 3 different kinds, you can choose 2 different kinds for your attack. And then we have the 3 Rare Candies for your Pidgeot and the Dusknoirs, and you only need 1 for the Pidgeot because no one's really attacking your Pidgeot. It's just too much of an investment. But your Dusknoirs, you're going to like to use that at least 2 more times and get those 130 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon. And that's it for the trainers. We have 34 of those, and this is my energy count here. I have 3 psychic energy, 2 electric, and 3 water. I know what you're thinking, why don't I have just 3 of each? But you're kind of just attacking with Sylveon and not much else, so you can use that Super Rod to get some of the other energies back. And with the Crystal, it's a really good way to utilize space, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe you want to make it 9 energies, that's up to you. But this is the deck, and so far I have a 4 win streak with this deck, and we're going to do a match here with it. And we're on the Victini ladder, so congratulations to us. It's January. So let's get started. Let's see what we can get from this here. And hopefully it's showcased properly for you. Games Dean, win or lose, given knowledge is the key, or something, whatever he said on that. And I'm going to choose heads because I like flipping heads. It's my favorite one. We got the Iono coin. We got tails, so we're probably going to go second here, knowing our opponents. What's he going to decide? And again, thank you guys for helping me reach 100 subs. Next goal is like 200, then 300, then 400, and then we'll make our way out. We'll make our way up, and each time I hit a milestone, I think I'll just do a giveaway to say thank you to everybody. Okay, we're going to hit a mulligan here. If we just had one more basic Pokemon, this would probably be a decent start. We'd get the Eevee and the Pidgey, and then we get the Rotom out. And I like the Budew because it has a 0 retreat cost on there, so you can have it up front and not have to worry if you're going to have a chance to evolve your Eevee. We'll see what we're playing against. Yes, yes, yes. One mulligan. It's that Pidgey again. What a bummer. Hopefully he doesn't knock out the Pidgey on his second turn, because that will suck. But what are we playing against? Terrapago, Sandagast. Whoa, okay. We're playing out against that big Palossand EX, most likely. Okay, he's already getting started. Terra Orbit, okay. Get to choose any Terra Pokemon from your deck and put it in your hand. Unless we have a Disruptor, I don't see how this is going to work. We don't want the Crispin. So I think what I'm going to do here is go for the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Boop. And then we're going to... Oh my god, we don't have the Sparkling Crystal. That sucks. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead then is I'm going to grab that and that here. Now I'm debating now. Ooh, I don't think he's going to knock it out. He's going to charge up his energy, so I'm going to take a gamble for it. But I am going to attach an energy to my Eevee, and then I am going to Ultra Ball my Rotom out. Got rid of the Switch. Okay, my Rotom's in here. Put our Rotom V in there, and hopefully he doesn't knock it out. Okay, not what we wanted. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get my Rare Candy to put my Pidgeot in, and then grab my Sylveon EX, and then I'm going to use Crispin to get the attacks I need on there. Hopefully he doesn't have a Switch. What do you have, Games Dean? Let's check his, he's probably just going to use the Prism Charge. I hope he does, honestly. Oh, is he going to grab his Switch out? He uses Arven. Item in a tool card. He might do an Earthen Vessel. Oh, Nest Ball, thank goodness. Okay. He's trying to set up for later. Sand Tomb. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat when he does 160 damage. Put damage counters on each of your opponent's bench Pokemon until the remaining is 100. Oh wow, okay, so I better evolve all these guys quick, or else he's going to try to knock them all out. And then we have a Froakie. Oh, so he's doing the Greninja. Okay. Well, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to Angel Light the 2 Pokemon that have the most energies on them. I think that's our best option here. Because I don't want him to get time to grab the Froakie and evolve him into a Greninja. Alright, let's get this bread here. Let's put this bad boy here. We are gonna Forest Seal Stone. Use Star Alchemy. And I have the Pidgeot, right? Yes, I have the Pidgeot. I'm gonna go back. We're gonna grab that Rare Candy. Because we don't have the crystal. And we're gonna evolve into Pidgeot. I'm gonna play this Eevee down here just to do it. And then we're gonna use Crispin to grab that electric and the water since we have the psychic in play. Doesn't matter which one we put in our hand here, as long as we can do them all to the Eevee. And then we're going to use Quick Search to grab that Sylveon. We have 2, and then we have our baby one there. Looks like we have most of our Pokemon. Perfect, and then we're going to retreat, put the Sylveon here, and we're going to use Angel Light to get rid of the Palossand EX and the Froakie. Hopefully he's frustrated and doesn't have the cards he needs there. He might have another Terra Orb. As long as he doesn't have the chance to keep evolving his Pokemon, I think we're good. Yep, there's that Froakie again. But now we have that Pidgeot, so we can boss his order whatever we need or want. If he uses the Prism Charge on the Palossand, well, he can't. He has no Terra Pokemon available. Nope, he gave up. And that's how easy you could win if you do the disruption just right, especially when they charge up their Pokemon. Oh, black screen. Don't know what's going on there. What do you mean we both did 0 damage? Oh, we didn't do any damage. We won with no damage. Beautiful. Okay, so that was a really good setup there. Let's see how our next setup is, and then we'll call it quits on the video. Maybe this will be a really bad hand. Dun, 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 dun. And I know Pokemon's going to be doing these evolution challenges, so what I'm going to try to do is make 2 videos a week during that to showcase the next evolution thing. Not a lot of them are good, but we're going to try to do our best to create a deck. Maybe we'll do a live stream. Who knows? Comment what you think we should do. Does this video suck? Let me know. Do you like this video? What kind of video should I do sooner or later? I am going to do the Gardevoir EX video that someone commented about, and then I'm going to do a post-rotation Charizard later on. Cool, another good hand. We start off with the Eevee here. Done. And I think we're going first. Oh no, we're going second. Ooh, Lost Zone. Okay. I haven't played against a Lost Zone before. Or Lost Box or whatever. So we're obviously going to evolve. We're going to attach that energy to us. And then we're going to Buddy-Buddy Poffin for a Pidgey and a Dusclops right there. And I am going to end my turn. Hopefully they don't Iono me. And they get whatever they need here. They're going to have to use a Jet Energy or a Switch card or a Switch Buddy-Buddy Poffin again. So they got all 4 down. I'm hoping they use all their resources. Don't tell me they don't have what they need. Wow. Interesting. Oh, this is so difficult. Here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Dusknoir first. And hopefully just knock out one of these. And then whatever prize card we get, I'm going to use it to put on the... with the Earthen Vessel here. That's worth the prize trade. Ultra Ball. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. We're going to risk it. And then we're going to grab... what do we have on the board? We have a water. We're going to grab electric and a psychic. Attach that Psychic on there. And we're going to use Angelite because the less Comfy's out, the better. And hopefully they don't have the resources to put him back in. Or maybe they'll use up all the resources. Switch. So they might not have the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. We'll see how this goes. A lot of people have been using Sylveon in their Lost Zone deck. I haven't tried it personally. I kind of don't even like using Lost Zone. It makes my turns feel a little too long. But we'll see here. Maybe they just got bad luck because they usually move a lot faster than this. Did you guys pull any good cards from Prism? Okay. All right. I don't think this one's going to go well, but I think we're going to win right here. They're probably going to give up after this one. Take our prize card here. Super Rod. Not much to give away. Okay, they're going to use Super Rod as well. Put the two Comfies back in. Unless they have another Buddy-Buddy Poffin on there, I don't really see what they're going to do. They gave up. Perfect. Well, those are 2 matches with the Sylveon EX deck that I've made. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any revisions or things to add to it, let me know in the comments. I'd love to try new ones. I want to go to a competition and test this deck out because I don't know how it'll do with all those top decks. Ooh, what did we get? We got that Teal Mask Ogerpon. Sick. You can add that to the Raging Bolt deck. But yeah, that's what? 6 wins in a row. I have a ton of matches, victory, losses. This is from... It used to be so much better on my ratio, but I kept experimenting, so it just gets messed up. But right now we're in the positive. 6 win streak with the Sylveon EX deck. How'd you guys like this video? If you enjoyed it, hit a like, throw a comment in there, hit subscribe, and remember, for a chance to win the Raging Bolt EX, leave a comment on my short post video about it, and you might be able to win it. Thank you guys. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one, okay? Peace.